normal. Life must continue. Work must continue. Is this communication through a screen our future? Is this the new normal? On March 19th, HTC Vive held the world's first truly virtual conference. And after that experience, we are completely convinced that this will be the future. We all crave real, open, simple, and powerful ways of working, studying, and socializing. This is it. Today, we have some exciting news for all of you. Welcome to HTC Vive's new strategy and new product launch, Journey into the Next Normal. And now, it is my great honor to welcome HTC's founder and chairwoman, Cher Wang, to give us a welcome speech.
Welcome, partners and friends from all over the world to today's exciting event. While many of us have used video to stay in touch over the last few months, it cannot emulate the three-dimensional world in which humans naturally meet, work, and learn and play. We see that spatial computing, including virtual events like these, will increasingly be part of our new normal. Our Vive reality vision unites technology with our humanity to unleash our imagination. We at HTC believe that great technologies like VR, AR, AI, blockchain, and high-speed connectivity will bring people closer and solve society's most pressing problems. And we welcome everyone to join in this new ecosystem, from content partners to platform vendors, chip makers, and even other device manufacturers. This is the time to embrace our common humanity and realize the true potential within all of us. When we work together, we can build a better world. Thank you for joining us today and for showing your support for this important mission. Stay strong, stay united, and stay safe. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Cher, for your inspiring words. And now, I'd like to welcome HTC China President Alvin Wang Graylin to share the vision for Journey into the Next Normal.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Vive Amphitheater to our Journey into the Next Normal event. It's great to have everybody back from all over the world. This is an amazing event, amazing venue, and thank you for all of our partners, and thank you for Engage for putting on such a great venue for us. I hope you like the opening that the Engage team has created. They are always amazingly creative. And thank you, Cher, for that inspirational opening. So, 3 months ago, I was on the stage and I told everybody that I think we're entering into a new normal and something that's going to be changing the way that we live and work and play. 3 months later, actually changes have been far beyond what I would have expected. So, I think I wanted to speak to you guys about what's coming next, because after these 2 months, I think all of us are a little bit tired of the new normal. We want to go to the next normal and a better normal. So in 5 months this year, I think the world has actually moved forward 5 years in a lot of ways in terms of advancing technology, in terms of advancing adoption and willingness to adopt technology like XR. But in some ways, we've moved backwards 5 years in terms of the services industry, the travel industry, retail industry, etc. So let's see what we can do with XR over the next few years to really take the world to a better place. So this is a picture that I chose because I think it's a very good representation of where the world is today. It's a train on a track that is essentially disappearing in front of it and disappearing behind it. The track that we have left behind is the normal that we knew was 2019 and before. And where we are now, we're building this new normal, this thing that we're trying to figure out what to do as the world changes around us. And we're not really sure where it's going because the tracks in front of us have essentially disappeared. This is the world that we live in today, and it's a very complex and difficult world. It's a challenging world from all aspects, from economic perspective, from health perspective, from societal stability perspective. There's a lot of issues going on. And, what are we going to do next? Let's see if the next half hour can give us a little bit more insight into that. So before we start, I wanted to kind of ask you guys, anybody know what planet is this? Right? Does this look like a planet that you guys are familiar with? Well, it is actually the Earth, but it is not the Earth of today. It is the Earth of 300 million years ago. This is Pangaea. Maybe now it looks a little bit more familiar. In fact, all of the planets, all of the continents on this planet used to be one 300 million years ago. And it started to split apart about 200 million years ago. Now, within another 175 million years, we are going to be back in the same situation again. We are all going to be, all the continents of the world will combine again into another supercontinent. So why did I show you guys this picture? Because about 200,000 years ago, the first human, first Homo sapien appeared on this earth. And it was in Ethiopia, in today's Ethiopia. And from there, over the next 100,000 years, they started to spread around the rest of the world. So I wanted us all to recognize that we all actually come from a common ancestor, a common mother that is really the mom of all of us around the world. So we are really all one species on one planet, not different people around the world with all their own countries and with all their own genetic backgrounds. Actually not. Everybody is really from the same place. And the reason I also talk about this is because something happened a couple weeks ago that really moved me. So look over here. See that rocket that just took off? That is something that I think unifies people, right? When there's so much divisiveness that's happening around the world these days, it was really amazing when that rocket took off, and a picture from that rocket got shown to me, and it said, "Made on Earth by humans." That really actually spoke to me because I feel like that's something that we forget. With all of the rhetoric and all of the politics that's happening, we forget that we are all actually one species, the human species, on one Earth. Now, people who go into space, they usually have something called the overview effect, something that allows them to see clearer, that allows them to see in a more broad way, because when you're in space and you look down on Earth, there are no borders, right? There are no walls. There's only one Earth, and you really start to appreciate the humanity of the human race. There's also something else that really moved me about this particular event was the new uniforms. The uniforms, if you see on the bottom left, they are very indistinct on purpose. You don't see the flags of the country as prominently as you did in prior versions. And that really spoke to me. So today, I wanted to share something with you guys, let you guys all realize a dream that my childhood dream, I think, when I was growing up, everybody, when you asked, what did you want to do when you grow up? Everybody said, I want to be an astronaut. Well, today you guys can all be astronauts. So why did I want to give you this? One is because I want to show you that in VR, you can be anything you want, anybody you want. Two is I want you to look at all the people around you. If you notice, you can't really see who they are. You can't tell if they're male or female, black or white or yellow or rich or poor. And it actually doesn't matter. We are all in a common space together, and we're here sharing an experience. Right? This is what XR can do for us. It allows us all to go beyond what we are physically and not be judged physically. So hopefully that experience will give you a sense of some other deeper meaning. So, you know, as a child of Eurasian parents and a person of color who was born outside of America, but then grew up in America, I can actually share a lot of the struggles and understand a lot of the struggles of a lot of the protesters today. In fact, you know, my parents chose to have me take my mother's last name when I immigrated to the U.S. because we wanted to try to overcome some of the potential biases in any country. So, you know, in respect for all of the peaceful protesters out there in the world trying to make the world a little bit more equal, I wanted to take a moment of silence. So, I know that we've been going through a lot of turmoil, but I also want us all to look at the silver lining. You see, the storm, it just stopped because there's always an end to storms. There is always a silver lining to negative news. And I wanted to share some of those with you. I think we'll look back in the next year, next half year, and we'll find that actually what's been happening will actually unite us as a human race. Will actually make us more appreciate each other deeper than we've ever done before. And because of what's also happening with epidemic and the social distancing, we're spending a lot more time with our family and appreciating them and giving them the time that they deserve. We're also, you know, maybe traveling a little bit less. We're using things more modestly, which actually will help the earth renew and heal itself. And with all the things happening, we're also starting to appreciate science and math and medicine more than we have before for a long time. And I think one other thing we also realize that we are now more dependent on technology than we've ever been. When we cannot be together physically, we need technology, we need the internet, we need video conferencing, we need VR to be able to connect with each other. And it becomes more normal, right? And lastly, hopefully, we all start to maybe live more simply with less sense of materialism, because that's what's sustainable on this earth. So there will be positive outcomes. There will be positive ramifications from all the suffering that's happening. And the world will come out stronger than it did when it went in. So this is the new normal has been what we've been doing for the last few months. But what will the next normal look like? In fact, I think the next normal isn't going to be a surprise. The future is already here. It's just not evenly distributed. That was William Gibson's quote. And I think I completely agree with him, because all the examples that I will show you of what the next normal is not something that is in science fiction. It's not something that is years away. These are all the things that are already here today, just only some people are using it. But over the next few years, everybody will be doing it. So working from home, this is something that a year ago, only 1 or 2% of the world did. But going forward, everybody is going to do it, or a lot of people are going to do it. In fact, about 80% of businesses have said that they will have some portion of their staff have permanently work from home privileges. In fact, you have companies like Facebook and Google and Bank of Montreal and Twitter who have said that either they're going to let their staff work from home the rest of the year, or in case of Twitter, forever. Right? I mean, this sounds a little bit drastic now, but it is actually, I think, going to be the norm going forward. It is going to be the way most people work. Unless you're in manufacturing, you have to be in front of a machine or assembly line, or you're on the farm and you have to be in the field. Most people can actually work from home and maybe even be more productive. So this is what we've been doing, at least in the IT and information technology or kind of information industry space, is that we spend a lot of time in front of a computer looking at videos of each other and communicating. This is what we've gotten very tired of doing every day. What we will be doing in the not too distant future is something that is going to move from a video-centric type of working model to a spatial-centric type of working model in a spatial computing form where you still may be working remotely, but you feel like you're together. And I think that's really the key, is the togetherness that you can get from being in VR is very different than the togetherness that you can get from just looking at a screen. You just don't have the ability to have that haptic feedback. You don't have the ability to see a person eye to eye. When you're looking at 10 people eye to eye, you're looking at nobody eye to eye, right? What this also allows is not just work from home. I know that the term work from home is becoming very popular, but it's really work from anywhere, right? I think that is a concept that we will start to accept. There's been a lot of people working on something called the digital nomad, right? There's a lot of folks that's been traveling around the world with their laptops and a cell phone and working from anywhere. And it's a very small population that can do that. Very soon, that number will grow significantly. In fact, I think what this new trend will enable is not just a work from home, but actually it will enable a brand new set of working styles. It will enable what I would call gig economy 2.0. It used to be you have a car, you go and use your car, and you can make money with, Uber, right? Now, if you have a laptop or you have a VR headset and a connection to the internet, you now can provide services to companies around the world, and maybe actually work a lot less hours, but get paid more, because now you can charge the rate that you want to where there is the most need for your services. Now, this sounds great for the employee, but it's actually just as good, if not better, for the employer, for the businesses, because this means that now you don't need offices for your staff anymore, or very few of them, right? You don't need to pay for them to travel all over to meet each other and to meet the customers. And best of all, you now have a talent pool that is not limited by your city. It is now the global talent pool is what you can choose from. So you get the best talent at the prices that is affordable for you. So this is really a win-win for both the companies as well as the employees. And in fact, here's a little bit of data that shows how much value the businesses actually can get from this. In major cities like Hong Kong and New York and Silicon Valley or Tokyo, we're looking at upwards of $20,000 per worker per operating space in the office. That's a lot of savings if you can take that space and put it onto equipment. How much does a VR headset cost? How much does a high-end laptop cost? A lot less than these prices. So going beyond work, learning is also something that I have a personal passion for. And there are now 1.6 billion people, 1.6 billion children who are learning from home and maybe not getting the best experience from that learning. In fact, a lot of students, a lot of university students are paying tens of thousands of dollars a year for schooling where they're essentially having a MOOC course that they would have normally paid a fraction of the price for. So I think education sector is going to be disrupted in a very significant way. And the situation today will accelerate that disruption faster than ever. Professor Galloway, Scott Galloway, I think a couple weeks ago had an interview on CNN, I think, and he was talking about how all the third and fourth tier universities in the world are going to probably collapse because they cannot justify the tuition that they are charging. And in a lot of ways, I think that makes sense. And they will need a new way to service the students that they are serving in a way that translates that value. Today, no matter if you're going to elementary school or high school or college, this is essentially the experience. You have a professor on a screen talking to you with a whiteboard or a blackboard or a computer PowerPoint, but then you and 100 students or 50 students are talking to her, as a one-to-many receiving information. Where the world is going to be going is what's going to be on the right side. It's going to be more of a one-to-one education where the computer knows what the students' abilities are, how fast they're learning, what they know and what they don't know, and they can do all of that learning from their home, but they are learning from the best teachers, the best professors in the world. And you will see that this is not something that is science fiction. Another thing that's happening right now, I think every single event in the world is being canceled. Although I have to be proud to say that we are holding our event today, even though you're seeing us as a virtual event, we actually have an event in Shanghai right now that has 300 attendees from the XR industry that is joining us in a physical location in Shanghai. And at the same time, we are broadcasting in VR to the rest of you guys around the world. And thank you all for joining us at various hours around the world. But, events are going to come back, but they will probably be very different. They will probably be what I just mentioned. There will be a small local event, and then there will be lots of audiences from around the world. One is because of the issues concerned with health issues. The other issue is actually just travel. Nobody's able to travel right now from anywhere to anywhere. So until that gets fixed in a big way, until people want to travel again, this is going to be probably the case of having more hybrid events. So in terms of concerts or gatherings, right, you have the left, which is a great program, the Together at Home concert, amazing. You had the best artists in the world really speaking to a global audience. But given what they had, it makes sense what they did. But given what the technology is able to do, I think the world wants to see more of what's happening on the right side. The Travis Scott concert on Fortnite about a month ago, I think really signified the future of entertainment, the future of live entertainment. And this is actually, this looks amazing already, but that's on a 2D screen. Just imagine if it was in VR, if we were surrounded by various artists of various sizes with the special effects around them with surround sound. I mean, this is where entertainment is going. So I've been very lucky to actually have been a part of every single one of these trends, these transitions over the last 4 decades. And I hope to be part of the next transition for the next several decades, which I think is the XR technology transition, because this transition is not just going to be a 10-year transition. This transition will move over, and then it's going to stay there for 20, 30 years until we start having brain implants that allows us to simulate everything that we are doing and seeing right now. But technology advancement has been the core reason for economic development, social development, and improving quality of life throughout history. And it is going to be more so now than ever. So, I've said XR a number of times. I want to remind everybody, and for people who didn't join us last time, what do I mean by XR? And XR, I mean everything from base reality, which is the real world as we know it, to virtual reality, which is 100% digital world. Everything is virtual, right? And everything in between, which is a mix of partial virtual, partial real. So now we know a little bit about XR and what it all means. So how is it going to impact our lives? I think that's really the key. 3 months ago when I got on this stage, I said that any app that's going to be a killer app for the XR industry has to be something that really helps all parts of our lives, from work to learning to live to play. Essentially something that we would use every single day. So today I have some very good news for you, because we think we've actually found an app that we can do that, something that will allow everybody to use their app every day and find value in it. And I think that's really the only way that we can get this industry to grow and get the adoption beyond the fairly narrow hardcore gamers or the fairly narrow, very innovative and progressive enterprise customers. Right? So I am very happy and excited to announce for you guys some good news. Let's watch this video.
The world is going through an unprecedented time, full of unimaginable challenges that have impacted all of us around the globe. By working together, we will persevere and come out the other side even stronger. Technological innovation has been the core driving force for improving our lives and advancing society over history, and this is more true now than ever before. From fire to paper to the steam engine and modern information technology, change around us has only been accelerating. As we transition into the new normal, that is 2020, we have become over-dependent on electronics to maintain our connection to the world and those around us. We all live in a multi-dimensional world, yet we are confined to communicate through two-dimensional screens. Welcome to the next normal, where you can go to the office without putting on your shoes, if you choose, where every meeting can be face-to-face, where you can attend a global event without getting on a plane, where every class feels like a field trip, where you can instantly join your best friends from around the world at a concert or at a gallery opening. The Vive XR Suite represents a future brought to you by the dreamers at HTC. This software suite integrates a set of applications that's on the market. If you don't yet own a VR device, the Vive XR Suite also supports interactive experiences on most modern PCs and smartphones as well. Just register once and you can access all the apps instantly. easy, open, and powerful. Enabling productivity, enabling understanding, enabling joyfulness, enabling community. Vive XR Suite, enabling the impossible.
So what do you guys think? Was that, do you think that's something that you guys would actually want to use? Do you think that's something that can help you in your life today? So, we just saw what the XR Suite. So that's the welcome to the world where now we may have an app that everybody can use every day. And we call it the XR Suite, the Vive XR Suite. Now, what exactly does it do? So essentially, we have 5 apps that compose this XR Suite, and it helps to service different parts of your life. It helps to satisfy the needs that we all have in terms of being able to connect with people around us, being able to connect with our colleagues, being able to enjoy activities that we cannot do when we're stuck at home or stuck in a particular city, and maybe even fulfill our need for a little bit more art and culture. So this is a complete remote experience. That's the number one point that we want to provide. This is something that if you download this suite of 5 apps, we think that you'll have a lot of what you need to have a very fulfilling life, and sometimes without leaving your home. It's going to make you more productive, and is actually very affordable because we are going to sell this as a complete suite, one suite that at a single subscription price. And that price we cannot talk to you about today, but we will let you know very soon. And it is going to be quite affordable. And you can use as much as you want. There will always be a free version, of course, where you can try and sample and participate in other people's activities and other people's meetings. But if you want to be the one that initiates these activities, then it becomes a paid service, just like very much normal today with all of our online and video-based meeting and conferences and SaaS services. Now, the key benefit of this is it allows you to be productive really anywhere you are. You can work, you can communicate, you can socialize anywhere you want at any time. It allows you to work with your colleagues from around the world, so it gives you the freedom to work from home at your own hours. And the best part is it does not require a VR or AR or XR device for you to use this. You can leverage all of this power with your existing PC or maybe even your phone and your tablets. So that allows you to try and see the benefits of this without the initial risk of an investment in the technology for people who don't yet own a VR device. And the key is it has to be something that's very open, and it supports all devices, all brands. Essentially, all of the companies that are in the XR ecosystem. We are welcoming you into this ecosystem because we want to make sure that anybody with an XR device can use this. Anybody with a PC or a Mac can use this. Anybody with an Android phone or an iOS phone can use this. So this is something that I think it's a very different attitude than some of the other vendors out there who are providing solutions. And it has to be easy, right? It has to be something where people pick it up and they know how to use it. And it doesn't take having to register at every different app with a different account and having a different password and all the complexity of that. Pretty much once you register with this with your Viveport account, you log in and you can use all the apps and have the level of functionality that is associated with the payment level of your account. So whether you're a professional user or just an attendee, a viewer, free user, as long as your account is updated in terms of the subscription level, you will automatically get those features. And lastly, it is something that supports a global user base. So servers for this is around the world, whether in China or outside. We will initially offer the service in an integrated form in the China market, but all of these apps will actually be available already globally through our development partners. So I want to, also thank all the companies that are part of this today. We are able to provide such a complete and powerful suite, not because we have a software team that just made it out of thin air. We actually are working with the leading players in the industry that are providing social, that are providing art and culture, that are providing education and events, that are, providing a remote campus solution. And of course, our Vive Sync providing the kind of quick meeting solution. So this is something that essentially is the best of breed of the companies that have been invested in making this industry successful for many years to build out something that has this level of quality. Now we will integrate then all of these company solution into a single integrated UI, UX, and service model and payment model, so that it becomes so easy for our customer base to take advantage of it. So I'm happy to announce that this product will be, available for use in Q3, and this is really the beginning of the next normal. And we think that these software solutions is going to be one piece of the solution that takes us from the new normal of today to the next normal of tomorrow. Right? No matter what hardware you have, it will be compatible and supported by our XR suite. So, what exactly do these 5 apps do for us? For the Sync app, I think some of you have tried it before. It's already been on beta for a couple months, but essentially it takes meetings to the next level. It gives you that 3-dimensional ability to interact, and it gives you the ability to install and load in content that are 2-dimensional or 3-dimensional or files or text. The remote campus, the Vive Campus product, essentially allows you to create a digital twin of your office. And now if you don't have a chance to go to the office, or if you don't have a chance to go to your university, you could potentially replace that with our Vive Campus product. And that way you still have the serendipitous interaction that you have when you go into a physical office with your staff. At the same time, you don't necessarily have to leave your home. You can do a lot of these large-scale meetings that could be hundreds of people in a single room, or you could do one-on-ones that are next to the water cooler. So this is what the Vive Campus product provides for you. The Vive Sessions product is powered by Engage, and this is the event that you're in today. Engage has been around for many years, and they've been doing amazing things for the education market. But now I think it really makes sense to take that platform and turn it into something that goes well beyond education, into large-scale events, into large-scale education, into exhibitions and conferences. And Vive Social is powered by the VR chat platform, which is the #1 social platform in VR today. And essentially, it takes the concept of community to a new level, because now you're not just looking at a screen and looking at posts and having likes. You actually get to go face to face and talk to the people that are around the world and feel like you are with them. There are 50,000 unique worlds that are in there today, and thousands that are being made all the time. So no matter what type of a social group you are looking for, it's available in Vive Social. Now we also see it as a potential way for us to take retail into the VR space, being able to have virtual stores and virtual malls and virtual walkthroughs and virtual exhibitions where you can go in and see things, talk to customers, talk to the sales staff, and actually make purchases. And lastly, the Vive Museum product powered by MOR. We really value art and culture in our lives, and it can't be just all about work. So the MOR has built up huge collections of content and art from artists around the world. So we really want to make sure that's highlighted. But also, we want this to be a place for people to go and relax and learn. And we also welcome companies or artists or galleries from around the world to work with us to take their content and make it available on Vive Museum, so that you can share your art and your beauty with the rest of the world. So I know a lot of you guys have heard about Vive events, right? So what does Vive events have to do with these other apps, with the Vive XR suite? Well, at the end of the day, Vive events is a professional event service, right? We help to produce outstanding premier virtual events like you're seeing today, and we utilize all of the apps in the XR suite to be able to deliver that amazing experience, right? That's really what Vive Events is about. So it's in itself, it's not an app, it is a service. But I think with what's going on in the world, with all of these events being canceled, there is a need for us to deliver this kind of service to allow people to regain some normalcy in their life, to go to those events that they've been missing. So let's go and talk to the CEOs of these companies. I think they must be just as excited as I am.
I'm David Sapienza, Head of Content Production at Vive.
Hello, my name is David Whelan.
Hey guys.
I'm the CEO of VR Education and the team behind the Engage platform. We're delighted to be part of the XR suite.
Hey, Alex Holland here, founder and president of Verbella.
Hi, I'm Graham Gaylor, co-founder and CEO of VRChat. Today, we're excited to announce that we're partnering with HTC to bring the power and flexibility of the VRChat platform to an even wider audience. As one of the apps in the Vive XR Suite customers will be able to leverage VRChat's powerful creation tools and application through our partnership with Vive.
My name is Robin Stephan. I am the CEO of the Museum of Other Realities, also known as the MOR. Over the last couple of years, we have worked closely with HTC to produce a virtual reality museum.
Well, so here are the CEOs that brought you the apps that we are showing today with the XR suite. But something's a little bit wrong, right? We're having a virtual virtual reality event. Why are we using a video conference to talk to these folks, right? This is we need to do better. So why don't we do this? Let's invite them all to come and join us here on this stage. So I'm going to take a seat. Let's start. Wow, look at this. Everybody's here from around the world. Thanks, everybody, for teleporting in from various countries and various time zones. So this is the power of VR, to be able to bring us all together. I actually feel like everybody's here on the same table. It's just amazing for me to have such great CEO friends to come join us, and also to join the XR suite to make history, really, to be using technology to solve today's problems that the world's facing. So, why don't we kind of hear from everybody and hear from their views about VR and XR and where things are going. So what we can just walk down and go down this the table here, and maybe everybody can just start with saying what got you into XR. So David?
Okay. Well, I like to consider myself a futurist. I'm always looking at future technology, and I've been in the gaming industry. And once I was first exposed to VR, where it was this whole world that fully immersed you, I was blown away, and just taken from that point on, I was hooked.
Mm-hmm. I see. Great. Dave?
Yeah, so I've been in technology a long time. I used to be a web developer, and I spotted a project on Kickstarter many moons ago from Palmer Luckey, and I was one of the original backers to get the original Oculus Rift. And ever since then, I've really dived 2 feet into this industry.
I see. Alex?
Great, thanks, Alvin. Yeah, I got interested in the XR industry back in 2012 when I was getting my doctorate degree in organizational psychology, and just saw XR as a way to bring people in from around the world and have them learn together through simulations and different activities and in the virtual environment. So that's what got me going.
Oh, great. Graham?
So I first got into VR when I backed the Oculus Kickstarter back in 2012. I ordered one of the DK1s, and when I received it, I guess in 2013, 2014, I immediately knew that I needed to build some kind of social experience to connect with other VR enthusiasts around the world, which is initially how VR Chat was born. And I met my co-founder, Jesse Jodry, and from there it was history.
All right, well, let's finish up with Robin. So what brought you into XR?
Yeah, so I was exposed to VR, the pre-release Vive, when I was in school. And then after school, I was working as an industrial designer at a local consultancy. I picked up an HTC Vive headset, kind of on a whim. Started experimenting with what was possible. And I met my co-founder playing a VR game, Colin Northway.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think everybody's got a slightly different path into the VR industry or the XR industry, but, you know, it's we're all here now together, and we're all in 2020 going through some difficult times. So I actually wanted to get a sense from not everybody, but, you know, maybe Alex, tell us how your life has changed because of what's happening with 2020, the pandemics, and everything else.
Sure, yeah. So for one thing, our team is about tripled in size since the start of the pandemic, just based on demand. So it's interesting to watch the market really grow in these current situations. And then we operate our full business out of our products. Everyone goes to work, each day in our product, and that's how we meet and grow. And it's quite amazing to have that impact. In a personal way, you can work from anywhere. So I was in San Diego, but now working out of Massachusetts, closer to family.
Well, that sounds like the pandemic's actually been pretty good for your business. So Dave Whalen, how has the pandemic changed life for you?
Yeah, we've been super busy, and obviously we're working very, very closely with HTC as well since the pandemic for events typically like this as well, where a lot of physical events are no longer viable at the moment. So they're all looking to virtual reality as a way to serve this, and we've been super busy because of it. But it's not just the coronavirus, it's standalone headsets becoming available as well, has really pushed this industry forward. And also telecommunications companies trying to roll out 5G is really, these three items all happening in the space of 6 or 7 months has really pushed a lot of business opportunities our way.
Yeah, absolutely. We're happy to have you in a very close partnership with this. I mean, this venue is amazing, and your tool makes it all possible. So thank you, Dave. So why don't we go to the next question, which is essentially, what convinced you to join forces with HTC on this? So maybe we can have Graham kind of answer this and give us your views.
So we've worked with HTC on a number of different projects in the past and have seen some pretty exciting results from those. So when HTC visited with us about potentially working with them on the Vive XR suite, we thought it was a great opportunity to expand VRChat's market. We're primarily a consumer-focused platform, but with everything going on in the world, there seemed like there was a great opportunity to break into the enterprise market, and HTC and their Vive XR suite seemed like a good opportunity to explore.
Right, I see. That's nice. Thank you for sharing. And Robin, what about you? What made you decide to join the XR suite?
Well, probably similar to Graham, we've worked pretty closely with HTC for a couple of years. and we do see our app as very applicable to enterprise. So when we were given the opportunity to work with you folks over the next little while on this initiative, it sounded like something we should definitely take advantage of. So yeah, I'm excited.
Thanks a lot, Robin. So David, tell us kind of what function do you think you're serving in this suite? How do you see what you're doing helping out your customers?
Yeah, I think for us, Sync started off first was just a team building application where, we're all distributed, we're working remotely, that this was just a way for us to connect better, versus the traditional 2D mediums. And I think that's a big part that doesn't really get spoken about. We go through, all the feature sets, but just that team building is a huge aspect of what VR can bring. And, the more people that try it, the more that they're going to be able to experience it.
Yeah, I remember you told me a story before about your team in San Francisco and the one in Taiwan, and before it was always an us and them concept when you're on the phone. But when you got into the VR space, everybody felt like they were on the same team. So I think that I just used your app this Monday for our own meetings, and I feel the same way. We have people across 3 different offices, so I completely understand what you're talking about with that. So what about you, David?
Yeah, I think there's a huge opportunity. Originally, the Engage platform was designed for distance learning and stay-at-home kids. But because of the opportunities from COVID-19, like what David said with remote teams as well, there's a huge opportunity. And really what I want to see happen over the next 12 to 18 months is that currently today for online communications, people say, look, I'll Skype you later, I'll Zoom you later. I want people to start putting in that conversation. Let's engage together in a virtual platform. And we really want to be a real alternative to Zoom and Skype.
Okay, excellent. And Alex, how do you see your tool playing a part in this whole XR suite?
Yeah, absolutely. So similar to what both David and David said, there's opportunity to really build culture in these XR platforms. With Virbella, we have some organizations who are really using Virbella as a replacement, not only for Skype and those other tools, but as a replacement for brick and mortar venues. So we have organizations where people are going to work basically 40 hours a week in the platform. And running their complete business end-to-end in the platform. So we hope to see many more organizations doing that and getting the benefits of, not having the brick and mortar costs, being able to engage, culture and recruit from anywhere, but really having that sense of presence with your colleagues from around the world.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, that was one of the key points from my earlier talk is how the world is moving to a work from home permanently or work from anywhere type of model. So your type of a permanent office really gives people still a sense of a place to go. So I totally see the value of that. Robin, what about you?
Well, our app has always been focused on providing access to art and artistic experiences to people no matter where they are in the world. And I think that that's more important than ever right now. So we're really looking forward to continuing to build out the tools that allow us to share content and culture and connect people from everywhere in the world in these shared artistic experiences.
That's definitely a part that is very different than the rest of these apps that are more work and specifically kind of collaborative oriented. So, you guys definitely do add a different dimension to what's being offered. So why don't we have the last question, which is kind of what do you look forward the most to for this next normal, this phase after the COVID, after we move beyond a video-centric life? What do you look forward to the most? So why don't we start with Alex?
Sure. What I look forward to the most is I think COVID's really opening up the market's eyes of the possibilities. So really excited to see more diverse types of companies growing in XR space and really adopting and really seeing the impact from a cultural standpoint. Can companies really operate entirely through these platforms? And I think the answer is yes.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Dave?
I'm really looking forward to the unknown. We're getting lots of different queries coming into our inbox daily for all different types of use cases that we never even thought about in VR. We had a bunch of doctors actually contact us looking to communicate between hospitals, talking about their patients. This is stuff that we wouldn't have thought about really in the past. And I'm also really looking forward to seeing what the guys on this panel are going to come up with as well, because even though we're all in a similar space and we're all semi-competing, but not really. Like, competition is fantastic. Like, to see what the guys are doing at David's team with Vive. Vive Sync really pushes us forward, and the same with Verbella and VR Chat and other platforms as well. We're really all pushing each other along, and I believe that there's so much greenfield opportunity. There's room for all of us here at this table.
Yeah, that's a great attitude, because honestly, I think that even though we're all in the same similar spaces, each of them are distinctly different in terms of what key value they offer to customers. That's why we decided to bring you all into the suite. So I really wouldn't look at it as competition, as more as kind of cooperation to really create a total solution. Right. Mm-hmm. So David.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm really excited about seeing new people join this space. We often, being in virtual reality, we see a lot of the same people, but this pandemic has really encouraged people to step out of their comfort zone and try new technologies. And I think as new people join, it's really just going to enhance the whole experience for everybody. We'll see how new people use it, because everybody uses VR slightly different. So.
Yeah, well, I think if people start using all of the apps that are in the suite, it is going to change the way they work, and it's going to change the way they entertain themselves, and it's going to change the way they interact and socialize with their friends. So, we're helping make the world a better place, I guess. So why don't we kind of have a little photo moment, and everybody can take a chance to have a group photo. So can we get rid of the table, please? David?
Yep.
I think you're backwards.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good there.
Okay, good. So why don't we oops. Can we
okay
hold
there,
on to each other's shoulders, maybe? Okay. Does this work?
Yeah. I'll move it.
Well, we just had some of the best, amazing CEOs in the XR industry on stage here. So let's give them another round of hands. All right. So let's talk a little bit more about what we just announced. So the XR suite, the thing that I really, really like about it is that it is platform agnostic, it is device agnostic, and it is brand agnostic. What is, I think, been holding back VR from being adopted is that it needed VR. Right? So one of the key tenets of what we wanted to do with the XR suite was to make sure that you didn't have to have a VR device for you to take advantage of it, for you to start using it, for you to appreciate the value of it. And so we designed it so that it works with laptops, it works with phones, it works with tablets, and of course, it also works with multiple VR vendor devices, whether you're talking about an Oculus device or a Valve device or a Windows MR device or a Vive device, they will all work. And also, if you are, it's also compatible with the Vive Wave program, so that if, any of the dozen or so devices right now that are compatible to Vive Wave will also work with the entire Vive XR suite. So it's this is something that I think is key for success of what we are providing in terms of getting people to use this software. They will essentially use non-VR devices first and then transition over to VR devices. So how will the experience look? Honestly, not that different. So here is a specific example. We have a PC VR device, an all-in-one VR device, a phone interactive device, and a PC non-VR device. All of them are interactive. right? All of them, you can feel like you're there. All of them, you can go up and talk to somebody face to face. That's something that you can't do with a video conference system. And that's something that I think will let us feel like we are actually in the same place together. So, please, if you get a chance, try our apps. They will be available in Q3, but all the components of the XR Suite are actually already available on the market today. So we talked a little bit about work, right? Whether you're having a meeting, whether you're collaborating, whether you're having a conference like we are today, whether you want to go to an exhibition, and whether you want to go to your office and talk with your teammates or colleagues and have a coffee with them. All of that can be done in VR using the Vive XR Suite. So let's take a look. So Vive Sync is, essentially the go-to software for you if you want to have a quick meeting with your team, if you want to have a stand-up, if you want to go through and walk through some documents. There's nothing simpler than this product for you to do that. And you get to customize your look and feel. You have a phone app that you use to be able to customize it, your avatar to look like you. You can go in and present your PowerPoints, your PDFs, your video files, your 3D files, so that you can share ideas and have a face-to-face discussion where you have that full body interaction. It even has eye tracking, has hand tracking, has other things that really allow you to feel like you're with your colleagues or friends together. Here is actually the MR function of it. So you can see the real world. If you're using one of our Vive Cosmos XR devices or accessories, you can have the real world and the physical and the virtual world together. This is part of the virtuality continuum, the XR continuum that we had talked about before. If you're looking to go to the office and you don't want to take off your shoes, you can get up in the morning and be instantly in the office using Verbella, right? Using Vive Campus. Vive Campus allows you to essentially have either a standardized working environment that would be part of an environment that you can share with a small team, or if you're a large enterprise, we can customize an entire business campus for you with multiple buildings, multiple offices, and you can have a digital twin of your actual physical office environment. So I wanted to share this little video with you. Last time I showed you Tony's work, and then this time I wanted to share another one that he just sent me. He knew I was doing this event on the 16th, and he said, hey, I want to make a little video for you. So let me share this with you, and I will explain what you're seeing. So as you can see, he is using our Vive Cosmos XR plate. And there's something very strange about his desk right here, is that he has no monitor. And why does he not have a monitor? Because he is able to use a virtual monitor. He has virtual flowers and a virtual coffee cup. And he is able to use his mouse, use his keyboard, and be able to interact on this virtual screen. Right, just as if it was really there. And now you have the benefit of having a virtual environment. In fact, you can see he's got the hand tracking on, so you can see his hands in virtual reality, and that virtual hand can actually interact with items and objects that are in VR. So you can do shopping, you can go on the website, you can type. In fact, he's typing a document right now and be able to show that document directly on the screen. And edit documents, right? And you can edit Word files, web pages, PowerPoint documents. In fact, now he's using his hand to move that screen so that he can create another screen. All right, so you can have multiple screens, and if you can get emails with a virtual 3D object, you can take your hands, pick up that 3D object, and then put it onto the real world and have it walk on your desk. I mean, how much more amazing than that? And by the way, this is 100% unedited video, right? This is a live capture using our device of something that exists today. So we talked just now about remote campus, right? Now, what about remote learning? You know, we earlier I mentioned about the disruption to the college and university industry. You know, if we use something like Vive Campus and work with the universities around the world, we can make virtual digital twins of all the universities around the world, allow their students to be able to come in, even though they're not able to physically go to school, they can still have that camaraderie, that social aspect of going to a place, right? And being able to have that serendipity in terms of meeting people, of seeing their friends, of having things happen that they didn't expect, right? This is what people go to school for. This is what people go to a physical place for. And remember that video I showed in the beginning of the next normal for education, where you can learn from the best teachers around the world? Well, it's actually happening today. Using Vive sessions, powered by Engage, you're able to have the best teachers in the world show you a fully interactive, three-dimensional spatial experience in terms of teaching you, whether it's live or it's pre-recorded. You are able to access the best teachers in the world and feel like you are getting that one-to-one learning. And it could be one-to-many as well. You know, every single class can feel like you're going on a field trip because you're no longer stuck in a chair and seeing a blackboard or a whiteboard. You're able to see the animals that this particular professor is talking about and feel what it's like to be there with them and feel the suffering that they feel when the poachers come, right? This is the kind of stuff that you cannot get from looking at a video or a book. So, we talked about work, we talked about learning. Now let's talk about life. What do we want to do? We want to have some level of entertainment. We want to be able to have all the events that we used to go to, shows and concerts and conferences and exhibitions. We want all that to be virtualized. And it is possible to do that today. You are today right now sitting in a virtual seat in a virtual amphitheater watching a virtual avatar talk to you about something that is going to be happening in the future, right? This is what VR can do, and it can express things that are just very difficult to do even in the real world. Now, conferences is one thing, but what about if you want large experiences of having exhibitions? Being able to go into a space where it's a large space with hundreds of people or maybe thousands of people in a shared space and feeling like you actually went to an exhibition and having that accidental find of something cool that you get when you go to places like CES or MWC or China Joy or GDC. That's actually possible today with the Vive Campus product. It's designed for work initially, but now it actually can be used for events, whether you're talking about speeches or exhibitions. And we've actually done some studies. I wanted to share a new study that we just got back, is that when you are exposed to VR-based meetings or VR-based events versus a video event versus an audio event, you have a significantly increase in feeling of understanding of that information. In fact, it's 2.6x the amount of feeling of understanding based on EEG waves that we had tested. And what's also more important, or what is also just as important, is that you are very attentive. Your focus on that information is 50% more than an audio-only event. And lastly, in terms of the social aspect, the increase in wanting to participate in a social interaction with somebody else. This is an interaction anxiousness scale. It's actually increased by 54%. So these are all using scientifically proven methods to measure, and we are getting a clear indicator. So earlier we talked about a 2D based concert with Travis Scott. What we can also show is that just a couple weeks ago, on the Vive campus product with Verbella, they had a concert, a 3-stage concert with thousands of people attending, with live performances from around the world, and getting people to join this event and feeling like they're sharing an entertainment experience together. Right? This is not something that is in science fiction movies. This is something that is happening today, and the technology is available today. So, we can't, when we talk about life, we can't leave out culture and arts. And with Vive Museum, powered by MOR, Museum of Other Realities, we are now able to access just amazing artwork from independent artists and also famous artists from around the world to be able to share their ideas and just share their beauty. And these places can also be used for fashion shows. It can be used for movie awards. It could be used for art-related exhibitions and shows. So, we are going to work with Vive Museum and Vive Events together to facilitate even more content to be distributed and shared from artists around the world to a bigger audience. So, what's another thing we like to do in life? We like to buy stuff. So let me share this little video from NHK in Tokyo. So just about 3-4 weeks ago, in Vive Social, or VR powered by VR Chat, there's something that was called the VR Virtual Market. And in this virtual market, 40 plus vendors created stores that people can go in, and they can go and buy stuff. They can go and visit essentially a virtual mall and be able to shop and go with their friends and enjoy a social shopping experience together. Right? Again, this is not something that is in movies. This is not Ready Player One, although it feels like it. This is something that's happening today, and it's being endorsed and used by some of the biggest brands in the world, from Audi to Sega to Panasonic, Netflix. They were all had booths and stores there, and a lot of these stores are actually manned by real people. So there are real shopping staff that are operating these stores and supporting the customers that came in. That's something that I think is going to be an interesting new gig economy, is that if you want to be a shopping staff, a personal shopper, you can go to these virtual markets, virtual stores, and be able to put on a headset from your home and be able to service customers and help them buy things, right? There you can buy shoes or purses or cars or whatever you like. And here's actually the staff helping the customer from home, right? Because they couldn't go to their retail stores anymore. They can still do it from home. And of course, Vive had its own store at the virtual market. And, by going in, you can see all of our latest gadgets and devices and talk with our staff. So another thing you can also do is home shopping. If you want to use our mixed reality technology, you could actually, this could be the website of the future. You find something you like, you can pick it out of the thing, see the 3D model. If you like it, you push a button and you can complete that transaction. This is another video that Tony sent me from Italy, and using our hand tracking technology and our Cosmos XR technology. So as you can see, Vive's been working for a long time, the last 5-6 years, really helping build and complete this XR ecosystem. And we think today, with what we announced with the XR suite, we're really helping to complete this, right? We have the hardware devices, we have the store, we're supporting the arts, we're supporting the content creation. We have invested in startups from around the world, 100 startups from around the world, and we are supporting hardware manufacturers with our Vive Wave technology and SDK to allow them to make standalone devices faster than ever. But together with what we announced today, we are essentially helping to create a full experience. And all of this is happening together with partners, right? So I wanted to really bring up a few key partners that are going to be working with us to distribute the Vive XR suite and helping promote it to their customer base.
The promotion of Vive XR suite is inseparable from the support of partners. Today, we are also very honored to announce that HTC Vive has reached a strategic cooperation with Baidu, HP China, BCW, Jiajie, and Activation to jointly use their own leading advantages in their respective fields to promote and use XR Suite to benefit consumers and promote industry development. Please join me in welcoming each representative of our partner companies to announce our cooperation. I'd like to invite Eldon, President of HTC China, to take the stage. Eldon, can you please tell us more about our cooperation with Baidu?
Well, we just spent the last hour or so talking about the next normal and about the Vive XR suite that is going to help make that next normal a little bit more interesting and a little bit more productive. The success that this industry has had, the success that HTC has had, is in large part due to the support of our partners and our customers from around the world. And today I am so proud that we are able to bring in some of the best companies in China and some of the best companies in the world to join us on stage to announce some special partnerships that will help distribute the XR suite to an even broader audience. So let's bring on the partners from Baidu. Baidu is, as we all know, the #1 search company in China, and the company that has technology expertise both in cloud as well as in artificial intelligence, and has the largest small medium business search customer base in the country. So we will be working with Baidu across all of these areas in terms of helping distribute the XR suite to a very large and a very relevant audience. So thank you, and let's welcome Mr. Ma.
Thanks, Alvin. Now, let us invite the Vice President of Baidu, Mr. Ma Jie, to speak on stage.
Currently, new infrastructure is the strategy of China to revitalize the economic growth in the future. In the next 10 years, the economic growth of China will be fully based on the intelligent economy. The development and popularization of 5G technology is driving the large-scale commercial landing of VR, which will be an immersive, new interactive experience that breaks through the limitations of time and space. It will have a profound impact on all walks of life. In the early stage, before the emergence of any prosperous market, we should have a group of enterprises and institutions that adhere to the concept of breakthrough innovation, openness, and win-win that can really promote the development of the ecosystem. Baidu, which has a leading AI technology and cloud computing capabilities, is continuously helping all walks of life to achieve industrial intelligence upgrades by building new AI infrastructure and smart cloud services. Baidu attaches great importance to its cooperation with HTC. On the one hand, since 2015, HTC has been committed to the layout and construction of a product ecosystem with VR, AR, artificial intelligence, blockchain, and 5G as the core, continue to lead the development of industry in the field of VR. On the other hand, both Baidu and HTC are sharing the concept of openness and win-win, as well as using technology to make life better. This has laid a solid foundation for both parties to jointly explore and research on virtual technologies and industry applications in the future. Currently, HTC's VR conference system is using Baidu Smart Cloud in China. Next, the two parties will join forces, on one hand, combining HTC's Vive XR suite and Baidu AI technology to jointly create intelligent, contextualized, and ecosystem-oriented application scenarios suitable for the local market. Cooperation includes speech recognition, semantic recognition, speech translation, face recognition, sound field noise reduction, and so on. On the other hand, we are going to deepen our cooperation on the localization of the smart cloud service based on the HTC Vive XR suite. In addition, the two parties will continue to broaden the boundaries of VR services and continue to explore new business cooperation models, create a rich and immersive experience for consumers, and create more new values in the 5G era for a wider market and consumers. We should promote the prosperity and growth of the 5G VR ecosystem and achieve a win-win situation.
Thank you, Mr. Ma. Eldon, I heard that our cooperation with HP is really promising. Can you please share some details of our cooperation?
So from the top search company in China to the #1 PC and laptop manufacturer in the world, HP. HP has been a legend in the technology space, and it's the company that helped create the Silicon Valley. So, we're very proud to have this opportunity to work with HP in China and to distribute and bundle the XR suite in all of their VR-ready laptops and PCs, and to distribute this technology to their customer base, both existing customers as well as future customers, and really bring on this next normal to a bigger audience. So I think this is definitely a win-win solution for everybody. Given the importance of doing business at home and working from home, as well as the importance of using XR to improve education. I think both are areas that HP is very strong in, and we expect that the XR suite will help make their customers even more productive than ever before. So, HP's leaders, Dennis and Tony, have been old friends and have been partners with us for a long time, and we welcome them on stage to share a few words.
Thanks, Alvin. Next, let's invite China HP Vice President Mr. Zhou Xinhong to take the stage.
Hello everyone, I'm Tony. Thank you very much for the invitation of HTC to participate in this conference themed at the journey into the next normal, and witness the launch of HTC Vive XR Suite. Now we can see that the boundaries between everyone's work, life, entertainment, social networking, learning, and other scenarios are becoming more blurred. The particularity of this year also allows us to witness the massive growth of the demand of remote working and online education. The IDC report at the beginning of this year showed that more than 80% of enterprises in Asia-Pacific regions are already actively deploying flexible, autonomously integrated remote working solutions. IDC predicts that over the next 1 year and 1.5, more than 88% of the companies in APAC will continue to expand their investment in this area. HP believes that flexibility and working anytime, anywhere are the trend of the future of work. Users need to maintain a quick response in work and life, always connected, and the office location is more flexible and mobile. Efficient and convenient online communication space can better stimulate creativity and make cooperation and collaboration more efficient. The Vive XR Suite makes remote communication not only smooth, but also more immersive. It is also interactive, and it can meet the demand of the current user. HP business computers will soon be pre-installing Vive XR Suite so that our users can smoothly access applications through HP products and live a happy life anytime, anywhere. Here, I wish that the cooperation between HP and HTC will be smooth, and we will work together to create an ideal scenario for the future office for users. Hello everyone, this is Dennis, and I'm very happy to participate in the launch of Vive XR Suite. Just now, Tony mentioned that HP's business computers will be pre-installed with Vive XR Suite, which meet the needs of users in the next normal era. We first choose to pre-install the Vive XR Suite in the HP Gen series laptops, the product for the new generation of entrepreneurs. Everyone knows that entrepreneurs live, work at the same time, and they're facing great challenges at the same time. They have very high requirements over the computer's performance. They need products with super processing power, high reliability, and 24-hour standby service. The Gen series is tailor-made for the needs of entrepreneurs. It can be said that it was born for mobile applications. It is thin, light, and portable, and has rich interfaces. It supports Wi-Fi 6 wireless protocols, and has high color gamut and high brightness, which can ensure the smooth transmission of large files as well as audio and video files, which makes the display effect clearer, and pre-installed with Vive XR Suite, which can make all the virtual communications immersive and vivid. Whether you're working from home or collaborating with your colleagues thousands of miles away, this immersive experience will give everyone a sense of immersive participation. The Gen series and Vive XR Suite have joined forces to create an efficient solution that integrates hardware and software all together to help entrepreneurs fighting till the end. I wish the launch of Vive XR Suite a great success, and I wish HTC and HP having a beautiful number of sales.
Thank you, Mr. Zhou. As far as I know, the cooperation between BCW and us can be said to be a hit. Is that right, Alvin?
Well, from the top PC vendor in the world to the top PR company in the world, I'm again very, very proud to be announcing our partnership with BCW. I remember working with Bursa Marsteller back in the early 90s when I was working here with Intel, and they were our PR agency. And now to be able again to work with them as BCW and to announce our partnership with the XR Suite with them is a special moment. And I do want to emphasize that even though a lot of people know BCW for their PR work, they also do a great amount of work in terms of technology and strategic consulting. And we will also be working with that team very closely with the XR Suite and helping their customer base be able to move as quickly as possible to this digital transformation enabled by spatial computing. So let's welcome Joe on stage and hear the ideas that he has for what we can do. So thanks again, Joe.
Thanks, Alvin. Now let's invite Mr. Peng Zhenyi, Chief Digital Media Strategy Consultant and Managing Director of BCW Asia Pacific, to speak on stage.
Hello, everyone. I'm Peng Zhenyi, Managing Director and Head of Digital Innovation of BCW APAC. It is a pleasure to meet you all in the virtual world. First of all, congratulations on the launch of Vive XR Suite. The development of emerging technologies and the trend of the next normal makes digital transformation a crucial task for enterprises. At the same time, this is also an era of digital technology empowering brand communication and consumer communication. As more and more companies are virtualizing brand experience and customer engagement, their demand for XR will grow exponentially. BCW continues to explore with our customers the innovation that could impress consumers and inspire and influence the target audience. Based on insights, we create creativity and evolve real emotions to connect with the audience. And now, XR presents us with a huge imagination space in the step of connecting audiences. We're very happy to cooperate with HTC Vive to provide the cutting-edge Vive XR Suite product to BCW consumers in China, bringing VR into our digital communication and communication solutions to provide customers with a more creative and immersive marketing experience. At the same time, BCW will look forward to leveraging our professional PR capabilities and digital and integrated marketing services to implement more meaningful application models in the field of marketing and communication, and promote innovation in the entire industry. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Peng. Now, Jiajie is an old friend of HTC Vive's. We've extended our cooperation into software again, so I'd like to invite Eldon to share his thoughts and expectations on this partnership.
Well, Jiajie has been a partner with us for over 4.5 years now, selling the HTC Vive in China and making us the leading VR vendor in the country. So, to continue to work with Jiajie and to expand it to the software area is actually a very special time for us because a lot of people recognize them as a hardware distributor, but did not realize they're also the leading distributor for software for design, for office work, as well as for VR development. So their customer base is exactly aligned with the customer base of the XR Suite. And we're super excited to continue to expand our work with Jiajie and to be able to take the next normal to their customer base. So let's welcome Mr. Lee.
Thanks, Alvin. Now we have Mr. Lee, General Manager of Weishi Jiajie Intelligent General Software Division, to speak on stage.
Thank you, Sherry Wang, Chairman of HTC. Thank you, partners and distinguished guests. I am from VS Techs, and we have reached a cooperation with HTC to join and promote the Vive XR Suite in the Chinese market. We're in a highly interconnected world, and companies are expanding domestic and foreign markets by building a variety of partnerships. We are improving the core competitiveness of enterprises based on the information sharing, cooperative innovation, and joint production. Under the background of this era, the Vive XR Suite will bring revolutionary work communication methods to users in various industries with the improvement of China's 5G network. VS Techs, as the largest software distributor in Greater China, has cooperated with Microsoft, Oracle, SAP, Autodesk, and other world-renowned software vendors. We will provide HTC with high-quality professional distribution in the industry with professional distribution capabilities. Finally, I look forward to working with HTC to create a better future. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lee. The cooperation between HTC Vive and Activation has a feeling of love at first sight. So I would like to ask Alvin to talk about his first encounter with Steve.
Well, moving from an old friend to a new friend. So, Activation, we've only met a few months ago, but it's been a real pleasure, spending time with Steve and his team and really getting to know their capabilities. Activation is the leading events and events company for the luxury and auto and fashion space, and the only events agency right now in China that is a public company. So we're super excited to work with Activation and the creative team that they have. We feel like there's a very, very strong complement relationship here where they have a strong digital team. In fact, about half of their team is digital, which allows them to understand the needs of what a XR-based event would look like, and being able to think in a way that a lot of other agencies are not able to. So we really feel like the Activation team is going to bring the best capability and creativity to this new medium of XR and deliver some amazing experiences that we have not thought of before or anyone has seen before. So, we are super excited to be working with Steve and his team and look forward to delivering some amazing experiences to the world very soon. So welcome Steve and look forward to hearing some of your thoughts.
下面有请百德伟宣集团 CEO 刘景耀先生登台致辞。
CEO of Activation Group to speak on stage.
Hello everyone. I'm Steve Lau, CEO of Activation Group. I'm very happy to have the opportunity to reach a strategic cooperation with HTC Vive, a leader in VR. Activation Group, as the leading high-end and design brand marketing expert in Greater China, provide customers with a comprehensive range of integrated marketing solutions based on the investigation of the current market development and consumer behavior, especially with the maturity of 5G communication technology. We are very optimistic about the development of VR technology and the integration of the various fields. To this end, we set up an activation lab focusing on digital creative interaction. With this cooperation with HTC Vive, we very much hope to further strengthen the group's digital marketing capabilities. HTC Vive has advanced technology, rich experience, and mature commercial application solutions in the field of VR. Through this cooperation, we will combine the advantages of both parties, continue to innovate, integrate front-end technology, and provide more brands and consumers with experienced marketing activities and other entertainment and social content that can really break the limit of space. At the same time, we are vigorously promoting interactive experience in fashion, 3C, and other industries. Please look forward to it. Thank you.
Thanks, Steve. Dear guests, thank you so much for accompanying us in Shanghai and in the VR world. I want to thank all our partners for taking the time to attend, and all of you. I hope our speeches and our impressive line of partnerships have inspired you to discover what lies beyond the pandemic, how it will shape our lives, and how we're getting ready for it. Our online product showroom is open. Please come and experience our XR suite in action as soon as possible. Thank you all very much.
Well, thank you, Steve. So, this brings us essentially to the end of our conference program today. And even though it's the end of this part, we actually still have the exhibition section that is opening now. So we really invite all of you guys to come and join in the exhibition hall and see a virtual exhibition. Again, this is something that is a new thing for us, both in terms of doing a hybrid event as well as doing a virtual exhibition. I really hope that everybody can get a chance to enjoy and experience what a virtual exhibition can look like. This is the end of our program, but it's also, we think, the beginning of the next normal and the beginning of HTC going into the software and services business. So thank you all for joining us today and sharing in this special moment for the company and hopefully for the industry as well. So have a great 2020.